Come to Remora TC to trade like a shark and not get eaten by one. Let's school together to protect and grow our money. Hi everybody, it is Sunday, July 20th. As you can see, it's a different place for me to do my video. I'm in my car. I've got a few things to do. I'm about to head to a friend's house for a quick get-together, but analyzing tickers is something I really enjoy, so I'm going to squeeze it in. And so let's get started on the 10 tickers. First thing is the SPY. Let's take a look here. Okay, you can see the SPY's price action is very much in this upper zone. Let's see if I can use my pointer here. Upper zone here. And it's a little bit tedious to do this because I don't have my mouse. You can see up there is the upward price action. Whereas down here in the RSI, you can see continued bearishness building. The red line, I'm going to extend it like this. That's due to the divergence between momentum and price action. In general, my prediction is unchanged. You should understand that by now. I don't really change my opinion about price direction unless momentum warrants it. So right now, the sharks have not said anything differently to me. Okay? So for the SPY, continued lower prices. Let's look at triple Qs. Triple Qs is showing more, is validating further my prediction of resistance up here. So you can see in this zone here, I just made it in red, that there is resistance up here, okay? And it's due to this long trend line here. There's resistance, whereas down here, you can continue to see that the RSI remains bearish, even though price action is going up. And even though momentum looks like it's, rising, but it's still bearish, okay? It's the opposite of the direction of price. So for triple Qs, no change in my prediction. I'm just going to move my lines over to the right a little bit more because they're further to the right, okay? But in general, no change, okay? So the point is not to take a long on triple Qs at this time, nor on the SPY. I wouldn't do that. All right, we are now looking at GDX. GDX here, price action from what I talked about last week. Which day was that? That was on Wednesday. I said further low prices, and it's still doing that. It's really just bouncing down, okay? There's no change. So I'll just slide these over from where we are. No change, okay? And it's all due to this bearishness that built up here. Okay, perfect. Switching to MicroStrategy. I'm kind of going quickly because I'm in my car. And to make annotations and move things around, it's a little bit clunky, so I apologize for that. Now this is an interesting one. I talked about a little bit of possible price manipulation possible. On Wednesday, I said, you know what? They might push price up on MicroStrategy an additional 3.5%. You can see it here. Okay, you can see it in this little blue right here. But instead, let's see, the Wednesday is, I believe, here. Let's see, is this Wednesday? Yep, that's Wednesday on the green candle. You see that Thursday, and then boom, Friday, the big sell candle with a little bit more volume down here. Okay, so check out the volume on that day. So on Friday, 19 million shares, whereas, it's a decent amount of selling, okay? Now, what they're going to do is they are going to push it back up. It'll take a couple of days, I think. They might bounce it around a little bit, but they are going to come back up and retest this trend line up here. Okay, that's just how they get retail investors to buy back in and to get excited again. So price will come up like that, bounce around, get people excited. They might push it up a little bit further, right? And then resume the selling. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this guy, take that off, and like this. Okay. So don't get excited on the long side for MicroStrategy. This is still a very bearish middle term move for MicroStrategy, all due to this built up divergence down here. Okay, you can see it. Okay, don't be fooled. Lower prices for MicroStrategy. And if you're playing other Bitcoin stocks, I mean, MicroStrategy, that's their whole, I don't want to reuse the word strategy, but that's their vision on how they provide value to their shareholders is through purchasing Bitcoin. Okay, so it's, anyway, lower prices for Bitcoin because of MicroStrategy's price setup here. Okay, let's go to Microsoft. Microsoft here. Microsoft, I talked about this little wedge. You can see this little pizza wedge here. I'm going to annotate it a little bit. This pizza wedge, let's see if I can make this line a little bit thicker, like here and here, like this. This little pizza wedge, okay? What the pizza wedge is meant to indicate, it's a bearish signal. And what they did do is they popped it above the wedge. And you and others might say, well, hey, it's time to buy because it's above the trend line. It's above this trend line, okay? But that's part of the fallacy of following price based on price movement. That's the fallacy. You got to look at momentum. Here's momentum down here. It is still lower and divergent with price action. So up here, this little circled zone that I circled up here, this is, think of it as a fake out move, okay? So if you're a basketball player, you know what it means to get crossed over. You know, they take the hard dribble to the left with the whole, body feint, and then you bite for it because you want to defend it. So you juke to your right, only to have them cross the ball over and snap your ankles. So this is the snap the ankle moment, okay? Don't get your ankle snapped. Okay, it's still lower prices for MicroStrategy. For Microsoft. Okay. And I talked about how this underside piece here, right here, let me try to grab it here. There you go. Yep. Is the area where price will likely come back and retest. So after it starts to drop down, it'll come back and retest, and that would be a good entry short. Okay, for those who want to play with the sharks in this move, at least. Okay, let's switch over to NVDA. NVDA here, they're doing a really good job staying above the trend line. I'm not fully convinced that the movement up here, I'm going to circle it, the movement up here is as monumental and convincing to the long side. And the reason is the volume. Okay, so you can see the volume candles down below. The volume candles are, let's see, what is this? 158 million, 150 million. It's around the 150 million range. Okay. But what you want is these like big days, like this one. What's this one over here? Like 600 million. You want some conviction that the sharks are going to do something. Okay. So right now, they are not. So it's just a matter of when. So I'm going to annotate. I'm not changing my annotations. I'm just sliding them over to say that, the direction is still down. I'm not convinced that it is a long play. So again, we're playing the short side. We are moving with the sharks to the downside. Just don't get sucked in. Now you should ask me further, well, what about the RSI down here? It continues to move upward. I grant you that. I'm not going to discount that. It is a legitimate what looks like upward movement that coincides with price action. But to me, it's there's no conviction yet. So I'm waiting for when NVDA will behave like the other tickers just before NVIDIA, right? Microsoft, MicroStrategy, and the ones SPY and Triple Qs, they all had the divergent RSI. And NVIDIA will get it. It's just a matter of when, okay? So if you're in it long, great. I'm happy for you because you're making money. That's the main point of this channel. But if you're not in it yet, then I wouldn't go long. It's not the time yet. Let's switch to Tesla. Tesla here. Tesla price action. The volume. All right, so this move here. Okay, this little move here. There was no divergence here. Bullish divergence for this move. This is all consumer price action. They might move it all the way up beyond what I thought the resistance area was. So I thought resistance would be this red line here. Okay, this red line. Hence I added this little guy. But it proved to not be resistance, so I'm going to get rid of it. And let's get rid of this one now. It's out of play. What I think will happen is possible resistance up here. Okay, and so we'll keep that as the annotation. Now, is this the time to go long? I would say no. That's why I'm talking about resistance. There's not a lot of conviction and not a lot of huge buying. I mean, look at the volume. All of this volume over these days is under 100 million, okay? Whereas on a big day for Tesla, let's find what a big day for Tesla would look like. Like one of these days, 180 million. This one is almost 300 million. Okay. So we want some conviction. You can see as I zoomed out how little the volume has been over the past couple of weeks. Okay. It's not fat, tall candles. All right. So the direction remains unchanged for me. My prediction remains to the downside for Tesla. Okay, let's switch to Palantir. Palantir here, I mean, look at this huge divergence on here. Humongous. Going back, my goodness, all the way to November last year. That's a lot of divergence. Now, what we do need to pay attention to is how it reclaimed the purple line. The big sell day was here, this big red candle on 27 June. And all of this recovery action, look at the volume. It's kind of low. It's quite low, under 75 million shares per day. So really, it's not a huge signal to buy back in, okay? I'm going to make this pizza wedge here. So there. So you've got this flagging action. Yeah, I'm still predicting lower prices. And, if you're in it long, good, great. It's just not a good risk reward for me to go long. So I wouldn't. I'm not. That's just my honest opinion. I wouldn't go long on this. All right. Switch to the long play, Dick's Sporting Goods. All right, Dick's Sporting Goods. Price action here is a little bit, I'll call it confusing, because I got out of this trade. I closed my position. Took some profit though, but it wasn't huge. Like 4.5%. Not huge. On the long side, I was playing it long. I still feel it is a long play, but the short term is to the short side. So right now, I'm going to wait, because my desire is to go long either here or down here. Okay, it just depends on the price action. So right now, I think due to this tiny bit of bearishness that showed up, to me, that's why I put the shark there. That was the signal that sharks would get out in the near term. So let them get out. I waited a little bit, waited for a couple of days, a week in fact, before I got out of my long position. Right now I'm waiting. So I will wait. We will have to see. How does it behave right here? How does it behave down here? And maybe it may even stay up here. So we'll have to see. Okay. I am long. My opinion is to the long side for DKS. But right now I'm out of my position. I'm waiting for the right entry again. Lastly, I asked folks to give me some ideas on what other tickers to look at. So one of my subscribers suggested 3 or 4 tickers. I think 3 of them were automotive, and I'll take some time to take a look at that, and I'll bring it up on Wednesday. And one of them was a defense contractor, so I'll take a look at it as well. Anyway, put your comments in. Let me know what other tickers to look at. I'm going to remove a ticker or 2 as I put new ones in, okay, depending on what you're interested in. Because really, you are also helping me identify the right tickers to look at in case the trade setup is there. All right, if you like my material, please give me a thumbs up, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, tell your friends and family, and put a comment. Let me know what you're thinking, what you want me to look at. And as always, good luck with your trades.